Hello, we are watching the news broadcast daily and following today's highlights.
Ministry of Industry and Trade is requested to promptly remove difficulties to production and business. Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng supports defense cooperation between Vietnam and Italy. Spokesperson protests Taiwan plan on oil and gas exploration in the sea around the Ba Binh Island of Vietnam.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng has asked the Ministry of Industry and Trade to make all-out efforts since the beginning of the year to remove difficulties to production and business activities.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng attended the ministry's video conference in Hanoi on January 11th to launch its task for 2013. Dũng pinpointed the most urgent problems that the ministry should deal with now, which are low productivity of industrial sectors, poor product quality and competitiveness, lax management of the market, and high inventories. He said the ministry should strengthen coordination with relevant ministries and sectors in addressing difficulties facing businesses in assessing credits and support policies on tax and fees. Boosting export and controlling the trade deficit is an important task for the ministry, the Prime Minister said. In 2013, the Ministry of Industry and Trade has set the targets of earning $126.1 billion from export and keeping trade deficit at 8%. Last year, the country enjoyed a trade surplus of $284 million.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng said he supports the development of bilateral defense cooperation between Vietnam and Italy. He received visiting Italian Defense Minister Gianpaolo Di Paola in Hanoi on January 10th.
At the reception, Prime Minister Dũng described defense cooperation as an important pillar in the strategic partnership between Vietnam and Italy. Dũng had Admiral Di Paola visit to Vietnam during the year. The countries are celebrating their 40th anniversary of diplomatic ties. He said he hopes the two sides will enhance links in fields of exercise strength and at international forums. For his part, Minister Di Paola affirmed Italy's willingness to partner with Vietnam in defense, especially in shipbuilding and training. He said Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng upcoming visit to Italy will lift the two countries' strategic partnership to a new level. Both hosts and guests affirmed the importance of maintaining peace, stability, and maritime security and safety in the East Sea. They stressed the need to promptly build the code of conduct of parties in the East Sea. The same day, Italian Defense Minister Gianpaolo Di Paola has talked with his Vietnamese counterpart, Phùng Quang Thanh. They informed the press about the outcomes of their talks, saying they openly and frankly discussed issues on South Asia, the East Sea and bilateral defense cooperation, including the exchange of delegations, human resource training, and the defense industry. The two countries will sign a memorandum of understanding on bilateral defense cooperation in the near future. Italy highly values the role, position, and importance of South Asia, including Vietnam. The region is a driving force for global economic growth, Admiral Di Paola said. He added that Italy is willing to offer scholarships to Vietnamese military officers, especially to those who are eager to study Italian and defense issues. Di Paola's visit to Vietnam is the first of an Italian defense minister since the two countries established defense ties.
Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lương Thanh Nghị voiced protests against the Taiwanese side's planning to explore oil and gas in the sea around its Ba Binh Island of the Trường Sa archipelago.
At a regular press briefing on January 10, spokesman Nghị said the Taiwanese side is planning seriously violates Vietnam's sovereignty over the Trường Sa archipelago, causes tension and complicates the situation in the East Sea. Vietnam has complete legal and historical evidence to affirm its sovereignty over the Hoàng Sa, Parasar, and Cheung Sa spread the archipelagos, and demands the Taiwanese side to immediately cancel the above-said illegal plan. Regarding the law on the Sea of Vietnam, Nghị said, the adoption of the law on the Sea of Vietnam is a normal and necessary action of a sovereign coastal state and a member of the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The law clearly affirms Vietnam's policy of peacefully settling the differences in the Eighth Sea on the basis of the international law, especially the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, and related agreements and mechanisms contributing to the maintenance of peace, stability, security, and cooperation in the Eighth Sea.
Maria Stopes International Vietnam will administer a program to provide free birth control services to populations in remote and underprivileged areas, especially ethnic minority groups and workers in industrial parks.
At a workshop on reproductive health care held on January 10th in the central city of Da Nang, Mary Stopes International Vietnam said that under the program called Choice, women receive free intrauterine devices and men receive free vasectomies. The goal of the program is to reduce the rate of abortions and maternal mortality in the country. Vietnam now has about 25 million women of reproductive age, and the number is forecast to continue increasing. Around 870,000 people in 27 provinces and cities have benefited from the program over the past 3 years. Statistics from the General Department for Population and Family Planning revealed that the program had funded about 40% of all such procedures nationwide from 2009 to 2012.
A seminar in Hanoi on January 10th brought together officials from ministries, research institutes, and universities to formulate policies for lifelong learning in Southeast Asia.
The participants shared experiences in creating national policy frameworks for lifelong learning and defined effective strategies to set up learning systems. They focused on constructing a regional-level document on lifelong learning policy and strategy and an action plan for regional cooperation that will see the implementation of the policies. Building a learning society in life with lifelong learning is an obvious development of mankind, especially in an era of knowledge-based economies, integration, and globalization. An effective national policy is crucial, so the outcomes of the seminar will help broaden viewpoints and provide information for ASEAN member countries that want to set up their own policies.
Vietnamese wood producers are trying to explore new foreign markets for their products while leaving the local market for businesses from Thailand and China to exploit. We take a look on how they are solving the problem.
In 2012, exports obtained an 80% rise in export of wood furniture to over $4.6 billion. Meanwhile, local consumers spent around $4 billion on the product made by Thai and Chinese businesses. Retail shops for wood furniture are very small in size. Meanwhile, we still lack a sufficient distribution network. It's difficult for us to do wholesale business in local market. To win a bigger piece of the cake at home, wood producers should work with each other to establish a uniform distribution system. It's very sorry for the makers to suspend their supply because they sold out our products. They are surely to lose customers. The establishment of Safroni, an alliance of 12 local wood exporters, is considered the first step for wood exporters to take back what they left for foreign businesses at home. Showrooms showcasing interior furniture with international standard quality and designs are about to be opened in Ho Chi Minh City and other cities and provinces nationwide. The efforts are expected to enable good exporters to become the winners in the local market.
And that is the end of our news today. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.